The president of Inked magazine emailed me because of this old video I made speculating that the Inked magazine CoverGirl competition is a scam. I'm interpreting his email as an attempt to get me to take this video down because he also offered to make me an Inked endorsed influencer where they would send me their products to promote their brand. Not only did I say no because Inked magazine's merch is so ugly for some reason, but mainly I said no because I want to be able to speak to you all freely about Inked magazine and some of the weird things that are going on with this competition. And this video is also super old, and I'm better at making videos now because I dive deeper. So that's exactly what we're gonna do today. We're gonna find out what Inked magazine doesn't want you to know about their CoverGirl competition. Because I also found out that I'm not the only one that's being contacted by them, seemingly in an attempt to stop talking about it.
So the Inked magazine CoverGirl competition is a scam.
If you are being asked to pay for votes, it's a scam, babe.
I saw a video yesterday where a woman stated that her husband had paid like over $6,000 in votes, and she only moved up like maybe 2 spots in her ranking.
Inked magazine runs a contest every year where they pit tattooed women against each other in hopes of winning $25,000, a tattoo by Ryan Ashley, and being featured on the cover of Inked magazine. This competition has been going on since 2018, and I challenge you now to think of any name of any woman who has won this competition so far. I can't. I doubt many of you can. I can't even think of what any of the covers of the winners looked like. And most of the winners, honestly, are now MIA. And to me, that was the first sign of like, something definitely weird is going on here. According to the rules of the Inked magazine CoverGirl contest, no purchase or payment of any kind is necessary to enter or win this competition. And that's a very important statement because if payment was required to enter or to win, that would be illegal in the United States. But anyone can enter this competition and you don't have to pay to win, supposedly. Everyone gets 1 free vote per day, and even the competitors can use their free vote to vote for themselves. But then voters, if they would like to vote more than once per day, have to pay for additional votes. Each additional vote costs $1, but you have to pay a minimum of $10 if you would like to make additional votes. Competitors technically can't pay to vote for themselves more than once per day, but that doesn't stop anyone from having their friends or family pay for votes for them. When women enter this competition, they are put into groups and regions, and Inked magazine never says how many competitors they have, how many groups, or how many regions that they have. So women are kind of just in these arbitrary groups, competing to get to the next level. So we have no idea how many competitors there are. And I think that that is a very sneaky thing that Inked magazine is doing so that we can't find out how much money they're making. Say there's 10,000 competitors and each competitor pays an average of $100 during the whole competition. That's already $1 million of profit for Inked magazine. And we're going to come to find out that people are paying a lot more than $100 for this competition. Inked magazine obviously knows the law very well. They're a huge company and they are working well within the law. None of what they're doing is outright illegal. However, someone could easily buy their way onto the cover of Inked magazine, and to the thousands of women that enter this competition every year, that just doesn't seem fair. I came across this TikTok creator at official Dani V, who has made almost 30 videos talking about this competition and how icky it is.
All right, so it looks like it's that time of year for me to make my Is the Inked magazine CoverGirl contest a scam?
Dani entered this competition in 2018 and she was really excited for this opportunity as she was already a tattooed model who had worked a lot with Inked magazine in the past. She said, once you're in the competition, you don't really know what rank you are because of how they group their competitors. There's a seemingly infinite amount of groups and regions, and the girls compete within their groups and they get rankings within their groups, but they have no idea where they stand in the entire competition at any point until they get to the top 20. Dani said the confusion causes people to keep urging people to pay more money to vote for them because they have no idea where they stand. And it seems like everyone gets accepted into this competition, even like not people. Dani found a profile of like a blank picture, and this person got accepted into the competition with this nothing photo, and they even ranked 16 in their group. So they were low ranked, but this is nothing, and they outranked at least a few people in their group. My question is, why not just be upfront about how many people are in this competition, how many groups there are, and be upfront about how many votes each person is getting? There's like this big question mark around everything. And in my opinion, it seems like this is a tactic for Inked magazine to just get as much money out of this as possible. And that's just my opinion. And now I don't blame anyone who wants to enter this competition. On the surface, it seems like a really great opportunity and something that's really fun for inked women to do and to get themselves out there and to celebrate being tattooed. I think that's a great idea. And now I'm not going to show any of the videos that I'm talking about right now because I don't want to put anyone on blast. But if you just search Inked Magazine Cover Girl on TikTok, hundreds, if not thousands, of videos pop up of women posting every single day, talking about how they would use the money to get out of debt, support their families, pay their bills, go back to school. The United States right now is bordering, if not fully, in a recession, and people desperately need money. JP Morgan estimated at the end of 2023 that 99% of Americans will be financially worse off this year than they were pre-pandemic. And that's something that we can't ignore, that Americans right now are suffering financially. In my opinion, it seems like a lot of women are being taken advantage of by this competition. They're desperately creating free promotion for Inked Magazine in hopes of bettering their lives. And it seems like there's huge financial tolls required in order to win. In one of Dani's videos, a commenter wrote, and I am going to blur her name because, like I said, this is nothing against the women who enter. She wrote, quote, "My husband had paid over $6,000 thinking it would support me on the top, and I was still on the third. Today is the day I decided to quit." And there's this other TikToker who is at Visual by Jules, who was in the competition in 2021, and Jules actually got to the very final. And Jules said that her family was trying to get her to number one, but they speculate that the person who won in 2021 had to have paid at least $5,000 to have won this competition. And Jules also said that no one talks about the embarrassment that goes along with being a competitor that lost in this competition.
Notice no one really talks about the embarrassment that comes with this when you lose, and like you have to sit there and feel bad for everybody who literally voted for you. And then those questions when people are like, "Did you ever win Inked Magazine? I voted for you like every day." And you have to say, "No, like that was actually a really big scam. Sorry if you gave me your money. Like I'm so sorry."
And these are just some of the women that have been brave enough to talk about it. I'm sure there are many more women that don't want to say how much they spent and unfortunately was for nothing. But what about the women who do win this competition? You would think that this would be a great opportunity to set them up for a modeling career or an influencer career. You'd think that they would be doing really well, right? That's what I would think. Last year in 2023, the winner of the competition was Charlie Ray. And when she won, she had 2,000 followers on Instagram. Now, a year later, she has a little less than 4,000 followers on Instagram. And this is not to judge her as a person at all, but this competition didn't really do much for her in terms of her social media presence. And if this competition's goal was to really highlight the people who win, I don't think that this would be the case. In fact, Inked magazine rarely tags or promotes these women outside of just like the day and the weeks following the win. Charlie Ray now is just in the running for another magazine competition. And Charlie's win was also a surprise to Dani.
This is by no means to bring any hate towards the winner, because how can you have 2,000 followers on an Instagram page and 1 follower on a TikTok page, yet beat hundreds of thousands of other women in a contest, and especially people that had like 2 million followers that were in this contest? It is just very sus, and it just points more to that they probably already had the winner picked before the contest was even started.
In this video, a lot of people were commenting, tagging TikTok creator at Mama C. I wasn't able to confirm if Mama C was in the running for 2021. She didn't post about it, or maybe the videos are removed. But if Mama C was in the competition, and we know that there were many other women with huge social media followings in the running for 2023, and yet someone with almost no social media presence won the competition. So things kind of aren't adding up. And this is no hate or judgment to Charlie. She's an incredibly, incredibly beautiful and talented model. But in my opinion, if this contest was really for like tattooed women in the community of tattooed women, wouldn't we want someone that like really represents our community and talks to people, like interacts with people online? With how secretive Inked magazine is with their ranking system and the voting system, they could, and I'm not saying that they did this is completely speculative, but they could plant a winner and just take all of these popular social media creators money, but then give the winner to somebody else. And maybe that winner ideally would be someone who doesn't have a huge social media following, who doesn't talk to their audience, who doesn't show things behind the scenes. And that's completely speculative and not fact. And Inked magazine decided to just double down on this whole competition thing, and they created another magazine cover contest last year called Inked Originals. And Inked Originals is the exact same structure as the CoverGirl contest, but now it's opened up to anyone who's tattooed. In my opinion, Inked magazine is possibly making millions and millions of dollars off of these people that inevitably lose their competition. And the competitors are left completely in the dark for the majority of it, which I don't feel like is fair. And Inked magazine doesn't want you to know this, and they don't want people to be talking about this. That's why the president of Inked magazine emailed me, and Dani has had the official Inked magazine TikTok page go into her live streams and comment and ask her all these questions about her videos. In my opinion, it seems like they're trying to intimidate her and to get her to stop talking about the competition. In my opinion, I think they were trying to get me to stop talking about the competition because they want to keep this all under wraps. And to me, that's really shady. I think that Inked magazine has absolutely no care for their readers or the tattoo community, and they're becoming more and more disconnected from what we really want from a tattoo magazine. This TikTok user at Morgan Alexandra 95, who goes by Mo, came to the conclusion that she thinks that the Inked magazine CoverGirl competition is a scam. And she also had a problem with the fact that most of the competitors she was seeing had little to no visible tattoos.
There were at least like 10 girls in the top 20 who had almost no tattoos. Maybe like 2 to 5, small little ones. Really nothing that would scream cover of Inked magazine to me. Other thing I noticed that was a little weird is that some girls were just blatantly saying, I don't care about being on the cover of the magazine, I just want the money and I want a tattoo by Ryan. So the fact that like 3 girls are ahead of me in the running who fully admitted that they really don't care to be on the cover, they just want a free tattoo by someone who was on TV. They want the $25,000 because it's free money, and they have no tattoos.
One of the comments says, when I think of Inked magazine, I always think heavily badass tattooed women. It's not the same as it used to be. Someone else said, they lost all respect for me when they worked with Emma Norton, who has like 3 fine line tats, and other minimally tatted influencers. This one is a little tricky because I would never judge or hate anyone who just has a few tattoos, but I do understand the criticism in that this is a magazine that specifically is supposed to highlight tattooed people, and there's not many magazines that highlight tattooed people. I came across this TikTok video actually a while ago, and this is by TikTok user at CocoLC Blake, and she talks about her frustrations with Inked magazine now.
As anyone who's like tattooed or has ever followed Inked magazine, it's always been like super heavily tattooed people, like blasted from head to toe, like no open skin, and I've followed it for that because obviously you don't see those kind of people, and it's like the beautiful people of the world that look like that from like all over. And I feel like now I like don't even want to look at it because it's just like literally influencers that have like a couple tattoos. So the people that actually follow it for like tattoos and it's just like lost the appeal now. It's like disappointing to see that it's gone that route because there are still people that want it to be like the heavily tattooed people, I guess. I don't know, it's just like sad because now I don't even look at it because I don't want to see someone with a infinity symbol 4 butterflies. And
I really understand this criticism of Inked magazine, and I think it just goes to show you that they are kind of just following what they think is trendy at the moment, and they're not really representing the tattoo community. And it just sucks that this is like our magazine, like the one big magazine we have. And supposedly, seemingly, they are doing all this really shady stuff with their competitions. And it just seems like they don't care. They don't care about us. I get that feeling that they don't. The TikTok creator I was talking about before, Dani, has been a tattooed model for a really long time. And she advocates for women who want to become a tattooed model to invest in a portfolio and that they can go about becoming a tattooed model without competitions like this. And they're better off investing their money in other ways. And I truly could not agree with Dani more. I think if you are interested in becoming a tattooed model, I think that's great. Dani would be an amazing person to follow. But I really don't think that the Inked magazine CoverGirl competition is helping anyone other than Inked magazine. Honestly, this whole competition thing like really disappoints me, and I feel for anyone who has entered this and has financially invested anything into this. Like, I really feel for you because it does seem like a great opportunity. And it sucks that so many people find themselves in a situation where they're really disappointed with the outcome of this competition. So it's definitely just something to be aware of. And Inked magazine clearly doesn't want you to be aware of it, and that's very concerning. So with that, I would love to know what you all think about the Inked magazine CoverGirl competition. Have you entered? What was your experience like? Have you seen competitors? Have you seen the winners ever? Let me know in the comments down below. But if you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you have, leave me this emoji in the comments so I know that you are a real one. Bye everyone.